On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
Excuse me, you can't park here.
Why not?
This is reserved for clowns only.
I just so happen to be a fucking clown.
I am so sorry. I did not notice that big red nose of yours.
Have you seen the size of my shoes?
They are so long.
Okay.
Excuse me.
You know what? For that, you can have this flower.
Oh, thank you. Ow, my God.
Honk, honk.
Your car threw me off. That big van. I'm not used to seeing that.
Well, there's about 500 other clowns in there.
Oh my God.
Okay? It's a big honker.
They're all Geoffs.
They're all Geoffs.
Oh my God. Happy Thursday. How's it going, guys?
Other than being trampled in the reviews. No.
So we actually got a bad review that we posted on Instagram. We don't really look at reviews most of the time, even though you guys leave so many nice ones. But we asked you guys recently, like, leave some reviews because it does help with the show a lot. And so I looked the other day and someone, I just have to read it on here because I know some of you aren't on Instagram. B922335 wrote.
Wait, how many stars did they give us?
1.
Okay.
Our favorite kind.
Uh-huh.
And they said, hot garbage. War on Halloween. Love drag queens who assault people. These clowns are uninformed they said uniformed.
Uniformed, okay.
And ignorant. Not funny at all. Oh, please.
God.
You can suck our dick.
But also, love that. That made our actual day.
I know. We need, the next merch round, we're absolutely having merch that alludes to us being hot garbage because I'm into it. We went from science, death, and hot girl energy to hot garbage.
Hot, uniformed clown garbage.
Oh, please. Well, speaking of uniforms, get yours at wonderyshop.com/obituary. We have all kinds of uniforms for you guys.
All colors, sizes, lengths.
Oh.
Everything.
Every length. You want midriff?
You want a dress?
Sure. Let's do it all. And we hope to see some of you clowns in person in Florida on October 26th.
Go to obituarypodcast.com and get your tickets, you guys. It's going to be a Halloween spectacular. I saw something really disturbing today.
I told you not to look in the mirror before.
I know. I'm so sad I did. But I also saw something else disturbing, and it reminded me of your coffin spinner that you did about writing the wrong scripts or not being able to read handwriting.
Oh, prescriptions.
Did
writing the wrong scripts. They've been on strike all year, honey. You haven't been paying attention?
Not anymore.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh, please.
She's in hot water. I read today that her writers aren't coming back.
No way.
Yeah, because they're pissed off. She had horrible timing because, if you guys don't know, the long and the short of it is Drew Barrymore was like, I'm going to bring my show back because I think the world needs it. And everyone's like, don't fucking do that.
Yeah. And then she had to walk it back and it's not getting walked back. It's just,
She's getting walked around the block.
She's getting dog walked.
Okay.
But on People magazine, they posted this headline and it caught my eye. It says, pharmacy accidentally gives abortion pill
to girl on IVF.
To woman undergoing IVF. That mistake took something from me.
I saw that same headline today, Madison, and I almost was like, should I bring it up on the show? And I was like, I don't know, but you just did?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I feel like that had to have been on purpose. I didn't read the story. I just saw the headline, but...
I didn't... We're not journalists here. So I read the caption.
Okay.
It did enough for me. It said a Las Vegas woman undergoing IVF to expand her family was mistakenly given abortion medication, not fertility medication, by her local pharmacy, terminating her pregnancy in its early stages. They just killed my baby, Tamika Thomas said. Both of my babies because I transferred 2 embryos.
What?
All I got was a sorry.
Ooh, I would sue for
Hundreds of
millions of dollars.
Not only the trauma,
Oh my God, but the cost?
and what people have to put their body through for IVF.
Okay, but while we're on that topic, because I want to get away from this story because it's so awful, can we talk about American Horror Story Delicate?
I've only seen the first episode.
Oh my God. Okay, well.
You can spoil it for me, though. You can tell me.
No. I don't want to spoil it for the Geoffs.
Okay.
So, I'll gladly spoil it for you the second we're done recording. No, but the second episode is fucking wild. But as you know, I talked about it on a Little Leader, on Cult Leader. I was like, if you're going through IVF, do not watch this season.
Right.
Because it's traumatizing, which you can tell from the first episode. It's just fucking weird and eerie. And
what I got from the first episode was her husband I don't trust. I feel like he's in on something.
Okay.
And his ex-wife, I feel like, is that artist that they bring up.
You know
and
what?
then also Kim K looks horrible.
God, she can't act.
Honey, she can't act, but I have such a soft spot for the Kardashians. You know that?
Yeah, I mean, they really need it. They need the soft spot because nobody talks about them ever. No, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not a hater because I feel like, what's the point in being a hater? I don't like that attitude.
Also, I agree with that. And put me on the big screen, honey. It's a horror film. Truly. I'm not trying to, you just talk shit about yourself. No, it's called being real. Kim K looks gorgeous.
She does. Here's the thing. They're making her swear a lot. She says things like, suck my clit and stuff on it.
It's weird, right?
And they're only doing it, I feel like, to differentiate Kim Kardashian from the character by making her speak with this vulgarity.
Yeah.
But it's still her voice. And I just have a really hard time separating her because of how astronomically famous that family is.
It's weird too with cursing. I mean, we talk like fucking sailors, right? But hearing on Housewives, if you watch it on Bravo, it's bleeped out. If you watch it on Peacock, it's not. And so it's shocking.
To hear people swear.
Oh my God, they sound like trash.
I mean, yeah, we swear a good amount. I mean, it's I wouldn't in some scenarios, but we just...
It just comes... This is a safe space, and we just... In this panic room, we just...
Yes, and if you don't like it, you can fuck off. Okay?
No, but I get what you're saying, how they're trying to differentiate
It's gratuitous. Sometimes you hear things, or I've even listened to podcasts or watched other shows. I mean, for us, it's very natural because we talk how we talk in real life a lot of the time.
What does gratuitous mean?
It's being overserved.
Okay.
It's a gratuitous amount is just more than necessary.
Got it.
So I feel sometimes you'll watch a show or you'll listen to something and you're this person's swearing just to swear. Or sometimes even music, you'll listen to a song and you're okay, this person just said fuck in their song. That's not.
You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I understand that and I understand, but we're hot garbage.
We're exempt. Okay.
Yeah. We don't like to take accountability. Speaking of, you guys, we're more than a month in with our trainer now.
Should we talk about it? I've worked out 5 times this week.
Oh,
well, tomorrow we'll make it 5.
I just had my 4th or 5th workout back since being sick. I go at a certain time, and then yours sessions are usually right after mine.
Right.
So when Madison comes into the gym, I'm usually finishing up my workout.
Yeah.
And both yesterday and today, you walked in while I was trying to finish my last reps, and I would laugh. I couldn't handle it.
Well, he had you doing pull-ups, honey.
Chin-ups.
Chin-ups.
You guys.
And you did them. You looked great.
I did 10, and then you came in, and then I could only do 7 in front of you. I started laughing. Or 6.5.
Okay, 6.5. I couldn't do 1.
It's fucking hard. Deadlifts, fine. Bench press, fine. Squats, fine. But the chin-ups, I'm
Yeah.
Like tried to pull my whole body up. I'm like, oh my God, my arms was like my sides were sore.
It's so weird. I really, really like lifting heavy shit. I feel like a jock. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Madison's in her bro era.
I love it. It like makes you feel just strong. And I've always done workouts where I'm like, I want to look dainty. I don't want to put on a lot of muscle. I don't want to whatever. And now I'm like, I want to be strong, honey.
Beefy.
Yeah.
I like it. I feel like, you know what it makes me think of? Because like the weights themselves are so wide in circumference. They look huge no matter what you're lifting.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of like the vintage circus guys, like the muscle strongman.
Yep.
And just know, once I get to that muscle level.
Well, those are the outfits that you wear. You wear those like jumpsuits.
I always wear I always wear my striped singlet, and we're taming lions. We are riding elephants, honey.
Hey, what did you call me?
Oh my God, don't you dare. No, you've been doing great. You've been killing it.
Honey, 7 pounds down. More to go. No, but I feel good. I feel strong and don't even care about like the weight part. I'm like, I just feel strong.
I love it.
Love it.
Just work out. We were laughing on the phone last night. Well, first of all, we talked for like 4 hours on the phone last night, but we were talking about it and just neither of us were gym people really, like just never vibed with it, but we love it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I want to not talk about this anymore because it's annoying.
That's your monthly check-in. You won't hear about it for another month.
Yeah, we told you that we would not talk about it for a month, and there's your monthly update.
But send us your PR or whatever they say.
We want to beat them. Yak, 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 yak. God, okay. What else? You got any emails for us?
I sure do. I have the Life of a Funeral Florist email from a Geoff. They say, hi, friends. My name is Molly. Yes, you can say it on the podcast if it makes it on there. And I'm a funeral florist from Seattle.
Very cool.
I never really thought about a funeral florist.
I didn't know they were dedicated funeral florists. I more so assumed just like a regular florist that offers that as a service, which I'm sure they do. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into that. And she also attached photos, though, of some of the stuff that she's done. And it's so cool. And hopefully we can post them. But it says, I'd like to start out by saying how much I adore you both. You make parasocial relationships so easy. Also, when I turned 16 many moons ago, my dad got me a life-size skeleton from Costco and I named it Geoff, pronounced Geoff. I've been listening since episode 1, and when you announced what your audience would be called, I almost threw up from laughing so hard. Anyways, I just so happened to work at a little flower shop just outside of Seattle. We're a really small business having a staff of 8 people, including our 2 bosses. We are an everyday retail florist, so we deliver to the surrounding areas for birthdays, anniversaries, sympathy, weddings, and funerals. I am the funeral lady, as they call me.
Hell yeah.
One of my coworkers calls me the Lady of Death, which is honestly what I would prefer to be known as.
Yeah.
As the Lady of Death, I am the one to talk to families that call or come into the store to place an order, make any special orders to wholesalers for specific flowers or products we need, easel stands, wreath forms, etc. I call churches and funeral homes to coordinate deliveries and to confirm the time of the service. You'd be surprised how many people send flowers and have little to no information about the service, and then be the person to actually make the pieces for the service. Some people want really specific pieces that really represent who the person was, and some just pick the first thing they see. It's really different for everyone. I've included hats, pictures, toys, golf clubs, and even pieces of an orange safety vest in my work. I've included some pictures of the things I've done in the past, and they are so cool. I can't wait to show you. It's interesting to watch how trends progress over the years and everything, but funeral flowers aren't necessarily the first thing on people's minds when they think trendy. In the past, an all-white or pastel funeral color scheme was the standard, but nowadays, so many people want the flowers to represent their loved one's personality or culture in a much more vibrant way. Another phenomenon that nobody really knows about until they work in or close to the death industry is what we call call funeral season, which I think we've talked about before. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you've covered this in prior episodes, but in the colder months, usually after Christmas, the number of funerals skyrockets. I'll have anywhere between 5 to 10 funeral services I'll be making arrangements for every week during the peak.
Wow.
As where we usually only have 1 to 4 weekly. This spans usually January to April every year. I never ask how the person died, so the cause of the spike in deaths is somewhat a mystery to me, but I would assume it is due to the shit weather and hope of the holidays kind of burning out. My job is rarely boring, and even when it is, I have an amazing work family to entertain me. I truly couldn't ask for a better place to work. Thank you so much for reading. I hope you serve cunt today, bitches. Molly.
Okay, thank you, Molly.
But okay, I have to show you this. We've made funeral wreaths, and
Yes.
they're simple, but they're also a bitch to make.
Yeah,
But look at this funeral stand, like easel that she made out of golf clubs.
pretty.
And then she has some, look at this one with the weaved in safety coat.
I love that.
And then the one with the hat.
Wow, I didn't expect them to be that personalized.
I love that. I think that's such a cool option. You don't think
fun.
about the flowers.
No.
Oh,
God.
and you know what?
What?
You and I learned that the flowers on top of a coffin
Uh-huh.
is called a spray.
Yes.
So there you go.
There we go. I love it.
A
Thanks,
little
Molly.
funeral florist info.
Hell yeah. And now what about if you're doing a scathing funeral?
Oh.
Just do a bunch of flowers with the heads chopped off.
Just twigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too boho. That'd be like,
I know.
oh, you know some fucking bloggers done like pompous grass.
Oh my
Funeral.
God. Oh yeah. You know, I don't know if it's pampas or pompous, whatever. It's a symbol for swingers now.
Why? Because the Utah moms all have it?
That's a really good point.
God. Well, should we move on to some assholes?
Yes, we should.
Alrighty. I got one that says, am I the asshole for announcing my wife's pregnancy when my brother and sister-in-law were still grieving the death of their newborn?
Okay.
My 34 male wife, Amanda, 32 female, got pregnant recently. We were yet to announce it, but before we could do so, we learned about the death of my nephew. My brother's newborn had died, and he informed us about it. We went to his house to offer our condolences, and they were in a really distraught state. Here's the thing. I was buying a few supplies for my wife related to her pregnancy when I got the announcement, and as I rushed to my brother's house immediately upon getting the message, we still had the purchases with us. Upon reaching there, we offered our condolences and remained present for quite a while. It seemed as if my sister-in-law Emily was either pretending to keep her composure or looking for a topic to divert her mind, but she casually asked us what we were doing considering the purchases we had with us and what we had bought. I hesitated to answer, but she had already noticed some of the stuff in the bag and asked what those were. It was pretty obvious they were related to the pregnancy, and although we said it's nothing, she seemed curious to know. So we told her that she was pregnant. Emily began to cry when she learned what it was, while my brother began to accuse me of announcing it while they were dealing with the literal death of their child. He had gotten into a huge verbal sparring with me, but I told him that we were about to announce it anyway and that I didn't want to lie since Emily already kind of noticed what the stuff was. Am I an asshole?
I think you got put in a fucked up situation. I mean, even if you lied about it, it would have come out a couple months after. I don't know. Maybe you should have waited a couple months.
Well, what these people are saying, so literally he finds out and goes to his brother's house, right? Straight from running errands. Pretty much everyone in the comments was like, you should have, even if you didn't have your car with you, even if you took a taxi there, you should have fucking gone to your house first and dropped the stuff off.
Yeah,
And then gone over there.
that's true.
People were like, why on earth would you show up when they just lost their baby
Yeah.
with a bags full of like baby stuff?
Right. That's true.
And so once I read those comments, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
that is really insensitive. And I thought about it like, if I was in that situation, what would I do? I'm like, I'd like throw the stuff outside.
Right.
Leave it in the cab.
Right. Ooh.
Asshole, I think.
Yeah.
Just inconsiderate.
Yeah.
This next one says, would I be the asshole for not wanting to add my half-sister to the deed of a property after my mom's death? My mom passed away in April without a will, and I'm currently going through probate to transfer my parents' properties. I plan to sell the church/house and keep the one where my half-sister is living. I am my mom's only child, and my half-sister is on my dad's side, who passed away in 2020. My half-sister has been living at the second property for almost 20 years, paying rent to my dad and then to my mom and me since my mom let me handle rent collection. A little over a week after my mom's funeral, she approached me and said, "I'd like to be added to the deed after the mortgage is paid off." I was stunned by the request and didn't know what to say, so I told her I would ask a lawyer about it. I can understand her perspective, as paying rent for 20 years without having property in your name can be frustrating. She might also be worried about me raising rent. She currently pays $875 in Los Angeles. The mortgage is $500, but the market rate on Zillow is $2,000. However, I have several reasons for not wanting to add her to the deed. 1, my dad used to complain to me about how she took advantage of his kindness by not paying the rent in full every month, causing him to make up the shortfall himself until the middle of the month. Sometimes she'd skip a month of rent to go on vacation. 2, while sick with cancer, my dad advised me not to let people take advantage of me, especially if they're family, as this was one of his biggest regrets. 3, she lied to me about the reason my dad raised the rent, claiming he would take over repairs because she was doing them herself with the lower rent. 4, her request to be added to the deed after the mortgage is paid off seems unfair, as it implies she wants the benefits of home ownership without the debt involved if I decided to keep the mortgage. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to add my half-sister to the deed of a property after my mom's death?
No, I don't think so.
She's not entitled to it.
No. I mean, she's a half-sister, though, so she's a sibling.
On the dad's side,
Yeah.
whose house this is in, I believe the house was in her mom's name and then now her name.
Right. I think you should say no and deal with that. And even if she's pissed at you for a while, she'll get over it, instead of saying yes and then your relationship is done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's messy. I mean, you're not in a relationship with each other.
Right.
I wouldn't do it. Because then why should she be entitled to ownership over the house? Because she's been paying very cheap rent for 20 years. Consider that a blessing. She's had plenty of time to save what an actual place would cost.
$875 in Los Angeles?
Are you kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus.
You know where you could find that? Nowhere in Los Angeles.
Nowhere in Los Angeles. And yeah, you should have been saving your money. Sorry.
Other people's financial burdens are not yours.
They're also not kicking her out, right?
No, they're just saying, like, I'm not going to put you on the deed of the house after it's been paid off. Why would you be on the deed so that you get money when it sells? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope they figure it out, because that is tough.
That's why you need your wills to be strong. You need to
ironclad.
write it out.
Yeah.
You need to itemize those lists, baby, because shit gets ugly.
Ugly.
I was talking to one of my friends about that the other day, and they were like, yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, even if there's no money there, people will still, like, be like, oh, I want to look in their closet. I want to look at this. I want to.
So gross.
So gross. I hate what money brings out in people.
Money and death.
Oh.
It's either really good or you've got these horror stories.
Talk about, you want to see someone's true colors?
Yep.
See how they react to a death.
Yep. Oh, Lord. Well, I am up first this week, which means you should have a little side bitch.
I do, and this is a main bitch in my life. So, I have the obituary for Hank Williams.
Oh, okay.
And he actually died when he was just 29 years old in 1953. But the circumstances surrounding his death have been heavily debated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so his cause of death was listed as heart failure. However, suspicions about his final journey arose immediately. Officials listed his death as heart failure, but noted that body contusions meant he had recently been in a fight.
Oh.
And some think it may have been a morphine overdose, because I guess he had gone and seen this doctor at a hotel, or like had a doctor come to his hotel, but was supposedly given too much morphine.
Ooh.
But regardless of how he died, his death was a shocking one. And though there's many tributes and obituaries online, one person got really creative, and I thought it was cool. So the Montgomery Advertiser, which was the newspaper that printed this, basically had had like fans and people who knew him and love him write in little memorials for him that they could publish. And somebody did an acronym with his name.
Oh, cool.
And so they wrote H is for the heart he had for music. A is for Alabama, the place he loved. N is for the nation's #1 singer. K is for the king of blues, which in our hearts will linger. W is for the will to be a success. I is for the beautiful island in the sky where he may rest. L is for the lovesick blues, which made him known. L is for the love we all showed in mourn. I is for I saw the light. A is
Your
for
favorite song.
my favorite song. A is for all that will miss him day and night. M is for the memories of his songs which we loved. S is for the silence he passed on above. Put together they spell Hank Williams, he who melted cold, cold hearts with a singing love. That's by Henry Paul Johnson.
How cool.
I just thought it was cool. I've never seen an acronym in an obituary like that before.
That's sick.
And that's a new thing.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I think that's really cool.
I thought it was cool.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for that. I think that's something that we should see more often.
Yeah, more acronyms in obituary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will HW.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, here we're just going to do a
Okay.
confident K. We'll be right back. And we're back. So I need you guys to know we always take an actual 5-minute break every time we put ourselves on break. And my dad just called me.
What did he say?
He said the first time was a butt dial. The second time was your sister didn't answer. And I said, wow.
Okay, second choice.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you're the second fiddle. Sorry.
Oh.
Wow. Said, well, let me get back to the microphone.
Yeah.
Dad.
Can't keep you away.
All right. Well, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Well, girlies, today I want to delve into a story that left me deeply unsettled and really prompted me to think about body donation and our postmortem choices. Now, we've discussed some really incredible body donation stories that further the greater good of humanity. We love a body farm, for example. I mean, how cool is it to have forensic scientists and anthropologists study your decomposition and know that you're truly a part of some incredible breakthroughs in murder cases and missing persons cases. And we also love a medical cadaver. And I think my personal favorite stories are the heartwarming ones about organ donation, knowing that after my death, my body has the potential to give someone eyesight or a new heartbeat. It's just incredible. But then there are the absolute horror stories, and this is one of them.
You know, I love a horror story.
I know. So our story today starts with a Louisiana man named David Sonders. And David, I want to give you a little backstory on him. He was born in 1922 in New Orleans, and his early years were pretty carefree. He was in the company of a large extended family. His father was a tugboat captain on the Mississippi River. And in his early adulthood, he recalls stories of dove hunting. And he also recalls the fateful day that his whole life changed. On December 7th, 1941, he was out with 6 of his friends. One of his friends' wives came running up to them with tears in her eyes. The Japanese had attacked Pearl Harbor that day. It was a moment for him that marked the end of his carefree life, and the reality of an impending war sank in. He spoke with one of his friends who was in the military, and that friend told him all about the merchant marines. The promise of higher pay and a way to support his family drove him to join. On February 1st, 1943, he stepped aboard the SS Mayo Brothers, officially starting his lifelong military career. In 1944, he enlisted in the U.S. Army, and he also served during the Korean War. But not only was he a war veteran, he also survived Hurricane Katrina in 2005, which the levees broke. We all know it was horrible. In August of 2021, at 98 years old, he lost his final battle due to complications with COVID-19. But even in his death, he was the type of person that wanted wanted to help and serve somehow. So before he passed, he asked his wife, Elsie, to make sure that his body was donated for medical and science purposes. So his wife, Elsie, contacts the Louisiana State University, who had a body donation program, but unfortunately, because he had died of an infectious disease, they couldn't take his body. But after consulting with the funeral director who prepared his body after he died, that funeral home worked with a Las Vegas-based company called MedEd Labs. And so MedEd Labs actually accepted David's body.
Okay.
I read their mission on their website, and they seem like a legit company. Part of their mission states, quote, "Our mission is to work with industry professionals to help train physicians and medical staff on the most innovative and minimally invasive techniques and products. We hope our combined effort will lead to better patient outcomes, longer and healthy lives, and lead to less human pain and suffering." So, I mean, this sounds right up David's alley, right?
Yeah.
So a good place to send him. They're a body broker company that has agreements with many different funeral homes around the country to take in donated bodies. So it was a good fit. When David Sonders' body was sent to Las Vegas and was now in MedEd's hands, they conducted tests, and they do this on all of their donor bodies. And the reason that they accepted COVID-19 cases was because I guess the CDC said that coronavirus doesn't survive on the host's body after death. And in David's case, they tested him for the virus and it came back negative. So he was ready to be used for the betterment of science and medicine, or so he thought.
Okay.
MedEd Labs manager, Obtain Nasiri, sold David's body for $10,000 to a man named Jeremy Siliberto. Jeremy is the founder of deathscience.org. And I was like, that sounds so familiar. And I actually found his TikTok. He has over 1 million followers. He also has a YouTube channel called Death Science that says, "Death is not scary, it is science." And his videos seem pretty cool. And he talks about a lot about kind of what we talk about.
Well, I'm sure we've been sent them then.
Yeah. I don't know about his credentials. In fact, I don't believe he has any. But he did do a TED Talk on post-life legacy, and now he is an artist who sculpts some art, and he's also an amateur filmmaker. But he bought David's body for 10 grand.
How?
Well, so his company, deathscience.org, had organized something called a cadaver class. This was a part of a traveling expo called the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. Now, I went to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo website. They state that they showcased hand-selected vendors, dealers, artists, and small businesses with all things weird. Their website says you'll find things such as taxidermy, preserved specimens, original artwork, horror Halloween-inspired pieces. It goes on, but basically they're like the title, the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. So
Okay.
allegedly, Death Science and them partnered up to have this cadaver class. The cadaver class was posted on showpass.com, which I've never used, but I went to their website. Like you can just, it's like a Ticketmaster, I think. Like you can just buy tickets for events.
Uh-huh.
It was promoted as a cadaver class, and it was going to be held on October 17th, 2021 in Oregon. Tickets for the show ranged from $100 to $500 a seat. Those $500 tickets were VIP, and those people got to sit front row for the cadaver class. And it was an event that was open to the public, so medical professionals or just normal, like you and I could have attended if we paid.
What? That doesn't seem right. Like, if they thought they were donating the body for science and it's being used at an event as like a thing for
Like a
looky-loos.
sideshow, like a looky-loo thing.
Yeah.
I know. It gets absolutely worse because the cadaver class was actually a real public autopsy. So the description of the event stated that there will be several opportunities for attendees to get up close and personal, and they will have cadaver access before, after, and during breaks. And the body that was going to be publicly autopsied belonged to war veteran David Sonders. So, on that October day, dozens of ticket holders entered a room adorned with neatly filed chairs, and at the center of the room lay a figure underneath a white sheet, awaiting the event's start. Soon, a retired professor of anatomy from the University of Montana, Dr. Colin Henderson, entered the room. He removed the white sheet, exposing David Sonders' body. The event lasted several hours. Dr. Colin cut into David. He removed his brain and various organs. He opened up his chest cavity, cut into his limbs. As the event unfolded, all of the onlookers just kind of gawked and treated this whole experience like entertainment. And a number of individuals donning surgical gloves casually approached David.
What?
Freely poking at his body, and a medical bracelet hung off of him that said his full name, so it wasn't anonymous.
And his face was shown and everything?
Everything was shown. So literally picture you buy tickets to this cadaver class, and it's anybody can go as long as they pay. And you walk into this room with this body that was donated, and how you see a full autopsy. But the fucking kicker was that this wasn't held in a hospital or a surgical facility or even a funeral home. This was held in a ballroom at a Marriott.
What? How is this legal?
We'll get into it, but there's footage of this autopsy online. David is thankfully blurred out, but there's footage because a news outlet in Seattle, they're called King 5 News, investigated this. They saw this event being promoted and sent in one of their photojournalists who took video. And I have to shout out to King 5 News because they're the ones who have done a full, thorough investigation on this story. An expose, and they really brought it to light.
What about his family?
Well, King 5 News brought it so much to light that is the way David's widow, Elsie, found out.
You're kidding. From the news?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So they contacted her. She was like, he's on display somehow. I just don't have the words yet to describe how horrible I think it is. I think it's reprehensible. I think that they are using my husband's body like he's a performing bear or something. But he wanted his body to be useful to science. And then later she said, he's on display. You're totally helpless when you don't know what's happened. And I didn't. I had no idea what had happened. So could you imagine?
No, if it was my family member, I'd throw hands. I'd break knees. I'd fuck somebody up.
We love, of course, that's so cool. Donate your body to science. But
well, here's the thing too. If somebody and their family and it was the deceased person's wish, yeah, I don't care. Put me on display. Give me a public autopsy for people that want to know what it looks like. That's one thing aside. You might not agree with it. You might think it's distasteful, but that's a whole other thing.
Right.
The fact that they most likely assumed that this was a body that maybe medical students were going to study.
Right.
Or something along those lines. And then, or a more traditional body farm. And then you're going to fucking...
It feels like a freak show, Curiosities circus, like an old school freak show or something.
I mean, how were the attendees, I guess, to know that this person did not intend their body for this purposes?
And in the attendees' defense, I watched a full documentary on this on the News 5 website, and they interviewed them after, and a lot of people were like, yeah, this person donated their body to science. Cool. But they're there. It's not educational. They're not scientists. And one guy was like, yeah, I heard about it from my friend and thought it would just broaden my experiences. It's okay.
I mean, because I think about it, I'm like, okay, if we had the opportunity to watch an autopsy or something,
I get it.
We would go.
I know.
And but that would also be a thing where it's I would want to know the background of this person, or I would, if it was an anonymous thing, I guess. But in a setting like that, absolutely not.
Well, I think this is kind of a teachable story because I feel like that's something I wouldn't question. I would just trust. Okay, yeah, they totally know what their body was going to be done with after death. You know what I mean?
Yes. Jesus.
The expose on this event caught the attention of thousands, including the chief medical examiner in Oregon. Her name is Kimberly DeLeo, who said to King 5, "We feel that this was not respectful and certainly not ethical." Then Jeremy Siliberto.
Who owned that med company, right?
No, he's the death science guy. The med company is Nasiri.
Okay.
So Jeremy Siliberto, the event organizer, informed King 5 News that the MedEd Labs were fully aware of the purpose of purchasing the body. He even asserted that he had obtained proper consent for the proceedings. However, when the chief medical examiner communicated with MedEd Labs, they were entirely unaware that the body would be utilized for such purposes.
Who knows? It's such like body. We know there's a lot of corrupt body brokers out there.
Oh, I know. So then Jeremy Siliberto doubled down and said basically that any concerns about the cadaver have always been addressed by the lab. And then he said, again, I'm not the lab, I'm the host, and that donor consent wasn't his responsibility. So I think everybody's a fucking asshole in this.
Yeah.
Then the MedEd Labs manager who sold the body in the first place was once a chiropractor, which I know you would love, who lost his license almost a decade earlier due to professional misconduct. And then he was also sued for submitting fraudulent insurance bills or something wild. Then Death Science wrote in an email, MedEd Labs was aware of the course. Death Science partnered with MedEd Labs, and it was in direct contact with MedEd Labs, specifically Abteen Nasiri, for multiple months leading up to the course, including but not limited to the fact that attendees are not exclusively medical students and ticket sales. And then they also said that they did not know that David died of COVID. So MedEd Labs didn't communicate that to them. And then they sent out this thing to the attendees that was like, you guys should get tested for COVID because you were just in a room with...
When was this? What year? 2020?
2021. So it was
when
like...
COVID was still like a...
rampant.
Kind of a mystery too.
Yes. Okay, but quickly, I also want to talk about the Marriott for a second because we've stayed in Marriotts or hotels with big ballrooms and there's things going... Like, could you imagine? Like, oh yeah, there's an autopsy happening.
Yeah, we would get, I mean, when we were on tour, we were in hotels. I mean, we lived in hotels for months. We would walk around at night sometimes and like look around. I'm like, yeah, imagine if we're like, what's this?
I know.
Crazy.
So I guess the October 17th event was originally scheduled at a different Marriott and that they were told that the event was for medical equipment training. And once they found out what it really was for, they canceled it. So then they found another Marriott who accepted it and absolutely refused to cancel the event. And then after they got heat, the general manager said in a written statement, "We follow detailed protocols to protect safety. We are aware of concerns regarding a recent event and we are looking into them further, but as a matter of privacy, we did not discuss details of guests or groups." And then the people at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo put out a statement saying that our only role was to provide a ticketing platform for Death Science, which was the proprietor of the class. So they're saying, we just helped them with tickets, like we just gave, it wasn't like a partnership type thing.
Ooh, hot water, dicey environment to be attached to.
I know. But also another public autopsy from Death Science was scheduled for later that month, but thankfully it was canceled. But Jeremy Siliberto expressed a desire to organize more live autopsy events across the US, emphasizing that he has no regrets about his previous endeavors. And it was interesting because on his TikTok, his last video was posted in 2021. On the YouTube, same 2021. So I think he probably got so much heat for it that he kind of, he doesn't post on there anymore.
Well, I noticed when you started talking about this, I was like, okay, I have to see this website. The website's down. It's not there anymore.
The website's down. I know.
Huh. To me, in his defense, it sounds like he's just like this, he's not held to the same standards as like a body broker is,
I agree.
And I think it sounds really like the blame would fall mostly on them.
Yeah. I mean, I think we know too, like how curious we are. And he kind of talks about the same stuff I think
We get it.
curiosity
Yeah.
kind of killed the cat. But at what point do you realize, okay, we're going to a Marriott?
Oh, if we held, like, imagine if we were like, well, come to our live show. We're going to do a live autopsy.
Yeah.
No.
Unless someone was like, I want my body to be live autopsied. Here is all the consent. Like,
And
this is
I
my
want
dream.
them to do this.
Yeah.
We will honor your wishes if that's your wish.
But like, this is clearly not what that 98-year-old man intended.
No.
Or his 92-year-old wife intended.
You know how horrified I would be if my naked body was being cut open in front of a crowd like that?
It's just, I fucking love an autopsy. I think it's so, just to see the human body and just all of that is so cool, but not in a Marriott fucking ballroom.
Oh, at least get me to the Ritz, baby.
Honey, I know.
God.
And then lastly, the funeral home in Louisiana who did business with MedEd Labs in the first place and was the reason that David was donated to them.
Yeah.
They were absolutely horrified and ceased doing business with them immediately.
Good.
The man who prepared David's body at the funeral home said, quote, "It makes me really feel saddened that this gentleman was not given the dignity and the respect that he deserved and what he thought and his family thought that would be happening to his body." And then he said, "I was totally horrified. Our whole staff was horrified that this is what had happened to a gentleman that he and his family thought that his body was going for the advancement of medical students."
Wow.
That funeral home promised Elsie that they would track down David's body and bring him home. After the event, MedEd Labs regained custody of David's body, and then on November 6, 2021, David's remains arrived in a casket draped in an American flag to the New Orleans airport to finally get a proper cremation and burial.
Wow.
What a wild ass ride.
Oh my God. That is crazy. Great story.
Thank you.
Or great storytelling. Horrible story.
Horrible story. Could you imagine like somebody you love donating their body to science?
No, like I said, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Really crazy. So
Well, we're going to need a break
I
after
know.
that.
Sorry, guys.
We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, I'll let you know what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Girlie, we are going under the sea this week to talk all things mermaid.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
We got the 3 G's here. We got ghastly, we've got ghoulish, and we've got gills, baby.
Oh, my 3 favorite.
I was mesmerized when I was reading an article last week about an alleged mermaid corpse that was found on the beach, and that sent me into a deep dive. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
To see what else I could find on these mermaid bones or alleged mermaid bones.
So wait, it's a real mermaid?
We're going to talk about a lot of shit. Some we know, some we don't.
Okay.
It's fucking wild. Let me start by talking about this first mermaid that made waves after somebody posted a photograph of it in a marine biology group on Facebook in hopes of somebody being able to decipher what the hell this actually could be. 34-year-old Bobby Lee Oates, who made the post on this Facebook group, wrote that it was exactly like a mermaid shape, explaining, "We were driving along the beach looking for a campsite, and they're like, the skull looks like it's the shape of a human skull. So we instantly stopped from the confusion as to what the hell this could be," she writes, "and why does it have a human skull? The creature was about 2 meters long or 6 feet tall.
Oh, Jesus.
And hairy.
Honey, what?
It had a human-shaped skull with an elongated jawline and hair similar to the color of a cow or kangaroo."
So mermaid aren't pretty?
It said, "With hair missing in several places due to decomposition." It was exactly like a mermaid shape, but had hair, and it seemed to have a tail of some sort.
What?
So she posts this picture in the Facebook group, and then all of a sudden, all these people are commenting, like all these like marine biologists and stuff. They're like, it doesn't look like a marine animal. It's got a leg. It's also very hairy, one person explained. Another person commented and said the long part, like the tail or leg, looks like it's got additional joint areas where another bone would attach, like a foot. And the skull is round. The ribs are consistently human shaped. Wow.
Do we have a picture?
Oh, just wait. Others noted that it looked human and urged Bobby to contact the local authorities because they're like,
This might be a homicide. Yeah.
The picture gives me chills, Madison. It is scary to look at. I'm going to show you the first one.
The hairy one.
Look at that one first. This one here.
Oh, what?
And then this is the one that scared the fuck out of me.
Oh my God, are those ribs on the side?
And then that is the head and that's the mouth.
Ooh, what is that?
Isn't it terrifying?
Where's the hair?
It's hard to tell because it's with the sand and everything, but like...
Oh, I see it. Okay.
All here and yeah. And the head's kind of like contorted back, and then there's one more.
That's why I don't like the ocean.
Down there. So 6 feet tall.
Oh my God.
It's terrifying.
That doesn't look like a prank or anything. That looks real.
Obviously, go to our Instagram for this episode to see the pictures, but the New York Post described it, saying it indeed boasts a dome-shaped humanoid skull and splayed-out ribs that evoke the alien's locks and predator. For Oates, the search continues. I still have not found out what it was, she lamented. I was hoping somebody would comment saying what it was, but the comments were all so different. So there's no closure on this. Like, we have no idea what that is.
Did authorities not take it seriously and like take
I don't think
it?
So. No, because I think they're just like, oh, it could be some sort
seal.
of like, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy looking.
Or what if there's like a serial killer running around who makes these mermaid bone sculptures or something?
Well, we're going to hear about some mermaid bone sculptures, okay? This also isn't the first Martian-esque entity on a beach that has royally stumped the internet, said the New York Post. A South African man sparked hysteria among the online masses in 2022 after photographing what appeared to be aliens emerging from the sea.
I told you they're in the ocean. Those look like spiders.
Those are plants.
What?
Those are dead plants. But someone took a picture like, what the fuck is this? And they're just dead sea plants. So that one's not real. That's 1 for 2. Okay. We know those are dead plants, but the first one is still a mystery. And then our third and final mermaid. Oh, baby. She's hideous. Okay, no offense, but...
Oh, no, honey, what?
Oh, okay. So this mummy mermaid.
Veneers, honey.
Or mummaid or mermy. I don't know. Was found inside of a sealed wooden box within a Japanese temple in Okayama Prefecture and appeared to be centuries old. According to Insider, it had been sitting there for at least 40 years to prevent deterioration.
She's deteriorated, honey.
It's too late, okay? There's some air in that box.
Yeah.
But they wrote, quote, the exact creation date of the mummy remains unknown, though it has been stored for decades in a box with a memo indicating it was caught in a fishing net off the coast of Kochi during the Genbun era, which spanned from 1736 to 1740. Researchers said in a statement that the mermaid was supposed to have been brought to Osaka by a fisherman and sold and was purchased by an ancestor of Mr. Naoho Kojima of the Bingo Fukuyama clan, a feudal lord during the Edo period, who later made it an heirloom, though the researchers could not confirm the ownership. Scientists started looking into what this creature could possibly be, and they were stumped at first, believing that it was a monkey head that had
That's what it looks like.
been attached to like the lower body of a sea creature.
Okay.
But the truth is even weirder than anyone could have thought. According to Live Science, the haunting hybrid, which resembles a fish-like creature with a human head, which is popular, I guess, in that culture, this creature helped cure disease and increase longevity, had previously been displayed in a glass case at the temple for people to worship before being stored away more than 40 years ago. And they talk about the letter that was found in the mummy's box that claims that the specimen was caught by a fisherman sometime between 1736 and 1740, but it was likely created decades after that as a hoax to sell to affluent people wanting to improve their health or live longer lives. Research from the Kurashiki University of Science and Arts, KUSA in Japan, took possession of the mermaid in early February 22 with permission from the temple's priests and began studying the eerie artifact using a range of techniques including X-ray and CT scanning, radiocarbon dating, an electron microscopy, and DNA analysis. On February 7th of 2023, the team finally released its findings in a statement, and what they found out about the mermaid was even more bizarre than expected.
Tell me.
So they were like, okay, this head does not belong to a monkey. Instead, it was made predominantly from cloth, paper, and cotton that was held together by metal pins running from the neck to the lower back, and it had been painted with a paste made from a mix of sand and charcoal, and the torso was covered in components stripped from other animals. Mammals, hair, and fish skin, likely from a puffer fish, covered parts of the arms, shoulders, neck, and cheeks. The mermaid's jaw and teeth were also likely taken from a predatory fish, and its claws were made from keratin, meaning they likely came from a real but unidentifiable animal. The lower half of the mermaid did come from a fish, likely a species of croaker, which is a ray-finned fish that makes a croaking sound with its swim bladder, which helps it control its buoyancy. And I'm like, oh my God.
God, swim bladder.
It's just fucking queefing through the ocean, baby. The new analysis suggests that the mermaid was most likely created, again, to trick people into believing that these mythical creatures were real and that their supposed healing abilities were real. However, it also shows that the tricksters behind the creation put much more effort into stitching together the counterfeit creature than expected. There are 14 other mermaids that have been found in Japan, and the team now hopes to analyze others for comparison. I have to show you like a full body picture. She's like, oh my God.
Oh, kind of cute. Oh,
little
my
guy,
God.
little monkey.
So they were just doing arts and crafts.
Oh, and it got out of hand.
They got out of hand.
And now they have the #1 resin shop on Etsy.
Oh, God love them.
Taylor's oldest time. I was like looking up some other creepy facts about mermaids.
Yeah, do you believe in them?
No, but sorry. There's probably fish that look like them. There's so much weird shit in the ocean. But
yeah.
watchmojo.com, who always puts together those like random.
Oh, yeah. No, I like
crazy
those
lists,
videos.
blah, blah, blah. They did a list on top 5 creepy things you didn't know about mermaids, and some of them are lame, so I'm not even going to read them. No offense. But my favorite was like, some legends claim they drag men under the sea.
The sirens.
Good.
I know. I
Take
like
them.
that.
They said the concept of the mermaid we're most familiar with today actually originates primarily from Irish folklore and a creature called a marrow, which was first written about in the early 19th century. They have scaly green fishtails, green hair, and pale green skin, but are also supposed to be incredibly beautiful.
Ooh.
This, along with the enchanting music they play from the furthest depths of the ocean, is probably why young men become so enamored with them, and they allow themselves to be dragged under the water to be with the mermaids, captured and docile.
We need to get a swim bladder.
Ooh. That's next.
That is next.
Hollywood's newest plastic surgery trend. Swim bladders. I just thought it was fucking wild. And because I had seen like random pictures, I feel like, of these mermaid corpses before. And I was like, what the hell is this?
That first one is freaky.
That one fucks me up because I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. That one just looked like it washed up
Yeah.
from the shore.
Okay. And who's responsible for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I told you I will go to my grave saying this, that I think aliens are in the ocean.
Quote, I think aliens are in the ocean.
Put that on my tombstone.
Madison Reyes. That'd be a cool one. Here lies the woman who thought
Who thought aliens were in the ocean?
You know what I say? It's none of my business.
Truly, it's none of my business either. I don't really want to find out.
If they want to come out, fine, let them. But I'm not looking for them. Okay, I don't look for anyone. I told you this the other night. I'm not a chaser. I'm never going to chase anybody down or beg for their time.
Right.
You can come to me when you're ready to be an adult.
Right, but don't do it while I'm home alone. Please.
Oh, God. All right. Well, let's move on to some obituaries. The reason we're all gathered here today.
The reason that we are all gathered here today, I have an obituary for a woman named Madeline, and I've seen this obituary pop up before. It was popular when it first came out a few years ago, and it's sad, but it has a good message.
Okay.
So that's why it was like reposted a bunch of times. It says, our beloved Madeline died on Sunday, October 7th. While her death was unexpected, Madeline suffered from drug addiction, and for years we feared her addiction would claim her life. We are grateful that when she died, she was safe and she was with her family. Maddie was born on March 31st, 1988 in Burlington, Vermont, where she grew up and lived on and off throughout her adult life. She also spent time in Sarasota, Florida, Keene, New Hampshire, and Boulder, Colorado. Madeline was a born performer and had a singing voice so beautiful it would stop people on the street. Whether she was on stage, in a musical, or around the kitchen table with her family, when she shared her voice, she shared her light. She was a member of Full Kids of Vermont, a dance and musical troupe that toured the world. Maddie visited Russia and Thailand with the group and as part of their exchange program hosted kids from other countries at home in Vermont. She loved to ski and snowboard and she swam on the YMCA swim team, winning medals at the New England Regionals. When she was 16, she moved with her parents from Vermont to Florida to attend a performing arts high school. She tried OxyContin for the first time at a high school party and so began a relationship with opiates that would dominate the rest of her life. It is impossible to capture a person in an obituary, and especially someone whose adult life was largely defined by drug addiction. To some, Maddie was just a junkie. When they saw her addiction, they stopped seeing her. And what a loss for them, because Maddie was hilarious and warm and fearless and resilient. She could and would talk to anyone, and when you were in her company, you wanted to stay. In a system that seems to have hardened itself against addicts and is failing them every day, she befriended and delighted cops, social workers, public defenders, and doctors who advocated for her and believed in her till the end. She was adored as a daughter, sister, niece, cousin, friend, and mother, and being loved by Madeline was a constantly astonishing gift. Maddie loved her family and the world, but more than anyone else, she loved her son, Aiden, who was born in 2014. She transformed her life to mother him. Every afternoon, in all kinds of weather, she would put him in a backpack and take him for a walk. She sang rather than spoke to him, filling his life with song. Like his mom, Aiden loves to swim. Together, they would spend hours in the lake or pool, and she so loved to snuggle him up, surrounding him with her love. After having Aiden, Maddie tried harder and more relentlessly to stay sober than we have ever seen anyone try to do anything, but she relapsed and ultimately lost custody of her son, a loss that was unbearable. During the past 2 years especially, her disease brought her to places of incredible darkness, and this darkness compounded on itself as each unspeakable thing that happened to her and each horrible thing she did in the name of her disease exponentially increased her pain and shame. For 12 days this summer, she was home, and for most of that time she was sober. For those 12 wonderful days full of swimming and Disney movies and family dinners, we believed, as we always did, that she would overcome her disease and make the life for herself we knew she deserved. We believed this until the moment she took her last breath. But her addiction stalked her and stole her once again. Though we would have paid any ransom to have her back, any price in the world, this disease would not let her go until she was gone. And then it goes into survive by and memorial information. And then they said, if you yourself are struggling from addiction, know that every breath is a fresh start. Know that hundreds of thousands of families who have lost someone to this disease are praying and rooting for you. Know that we believe with all our hearts that you can and will make it. It's never too late. If you're reading this with judgment, educate yourself about this disease because that is what it is. It is not a choice or a weakness, and chances are very good that someone you know is struggling with it, and that person needs and deserves your empathy and support. If you work in one of the many institutions through which addicts often pass, rehabs, hospitals, jails, courts, and treat them with the compassion and respect they deserve, thank you. If instead you see a junkie or thief or liar in front of you rather than a human being in need of help, consider a new profession. We take comfort in knowing that Maddie is surrounded by light, free from the struggle that haunted her. We would have given anything for her to experience that freedom in this lifetime. Our grief over losing her is infinite, and now so is she.
Wow.
Beautiful. It's really well written, and I feel like it was real.
It humanizes people because, let's face it, I don't know one person who doesn't have addiction somewhere in their family.
Yes.
I'm the one. But like, it is so true. I think it's so easy. I mean, and people do this all the time, and there's so much talk all the time about like, oh, there's, these drug addicts taking over town and this and that. It's like nobody wants to be in that position.
Right.
It's so true. It's like people working in the court systems and people, police officers and healthcare workers have to have that humanity in them, really. Otherwise, it's like, oh yeah, another addict, another this. It's like, yeah, it's just sad how people are dehumanized because of addiction and an illness.
Right.
And you're teaching all kinds of lessons to me, okay? You're over here like, and this is the story of this guy.
You're like,
his body was wrong. And I'm like, you heard of mermaids? And they're bringing him under the ground. Currently, it's crazy.
oh no.
My obituary is short and sweet. 1902 from the California Democrat. We got a different story over here with Mrs. J.B. Ragger, wife of a farmer near Philadelphia, Marion County, cut her throat and set the house on fire. She died. House saved. Emotional insanity. Why are you laughing? That's tragic.
I'm laughing because it's just fucking wild.
That is a blunt death notice.
Honey, we gotta humanize her too, okay?
Yeah,
they need to humanize her.
Yeah, come on. California the Democrats.
It's the Democrats always.
It's always the Democrats. Oh, God. Well, we've spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
And that must mean it's time for some dumb
ass criminals.
Who you got?
All right. I have one that was sent in to us by Geoff Dustin, and they sent a longer email in that we'll read at another time, but they also sent in some dumbass criminals, so I picked this one. It's from NBC News. It's from 2006. A woman pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct in connection with a bizarre incident in February that resulted in a fake penis being microwaved at a convenience store.
Excuse me?
Leslie Creighton, 41 of Wilkinsburg, entered the plea Wednesday, and authorities dropped the same charge against Vincent Bostick, 31 of Pittsburgh, who has agreed to help pay $425 to replace the store's microwave, police and the couple's defense attorney said. The incident began when Bostick filled a fake penis with his urine that they said Creighton planned to use to pass a drug test to get a job. The two stopped at a Get-Go convenience store and after wrapping the device in a paper towel, asked a store clerk to heat it up in a microwave, police said. Authorities said they believe Creighton wanted the device heated so the urine inside would be at body temperature during the drug test.
Oh.
The clerk, however, believing the lifelike device to be a real severed penis, called police.
Oh no, they thought she was a Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah. So that's the story.
Wow, sticking to it.
They went into a convenience store, filled up a fake penis,
Honey, I heard the story.
had them microwave it. Come on.
Crazy.
Crazy.
You want to talk about crazy? I got this Florida man who was arrested for doing something so crazy, so bizarre. This is in Largo, Florida. I don't even want to tell you what it is. Okay, so police first arrested 54-year-old Edward Michael Dorsey around 10:45 10:45 a.m. on Sunday morning, October 30th. This is from 2016, on suspicion of domestic battery. Before taking him to the Pinellas County Jail for processing, however, officers stopped at Largo Medical Center to have him evaluated. It was while he was there that inside of the emergency room, he committed another assault. Dorsey allegedly pulled out his glass eye and hurled it at a doctor and nurse.
Oh, no.
When the hospital staff asked him not to take out his eye, Dorsey said, "I can do whatever I feel like doing."
Yeah, it's my eye, okay?
Authorities added a charge of battery on a medical care provider, and he's being held on $25,000 bail for the domestic battery count and another $5,000 for the glass eye battery charge. And here is his mugshot. It's safe to say that that eye must be in evidence because it ain't in there.
Oh, honey, it didn't make it to the mugshot.
It didn't make it to the mugshot.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Well, that's our show
Really get
today.
everything.
folks.
That's what you're getting. We gave it our all.
Hey, that's what we call balance.
Oh, we've got, we're taking you everywhere.
We said it before, an emotional roller coaster, okay?
All right. That's it for this week. Get in line for our ride next Thursday, where we'll be back with some more rat coffin spinners
And obituaries.
and dumb
Ass
criminals. And also follow along online at Obituary Podcast on Instagram. And you can write to us, obitpod@gmail.com.
P.O. Box 18149, Long Beach, California, 90807.
Come see us live in person in Tampa, Florida on October 26th for our Bitchin' Halloween show. Tickets are at obituarypodcast.com. And that's it. Goodbye.
Goodbye.